Hi, I'm Harlee. I'm a stylist at the Hair Standard in Centennial. This is my client Lauren, and today we are going to be doing a partial Teasylight with some tip outs. As you can see, her blonde grew out really nicely, but we're gonna bring it up, brighten it up, and brighten up the ends so they're not so brassy and dark. All right, let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna section out my partial. My partials, I love to do two side sections, the Mohawk and the crown. The main concern about a partial is you want to foil and get them bright pretty much everywhere that can be seen. A lot of blondes will do a full highlight every once to twice a year. So for the maintenance, you want to do partials because they're also more cost efficient and you're not in the salon for too long. So now we're gonna go in with Blonde Life by Joico, and we're gonna go low and slow. We're gonna start with 10 vol because her base is so light, and we're gonna do basically baby light teases. Working in the back and crown section of my client's head, I love diagonal placement. It helps with the over direction, so when the hair lays flat, it has a seamless blend. When I get closer to the apex, you'll notice my foil work gets closer together and it progressively shifts from diagonal to more of a vertical placement to transition straight into the Mohawk section, which naturally lays flatter, so it blends easier and I can get closer to the scalp, which is a win-win because using the Teasylight technique, they get that bright blonde to the root and a seamless grow out. As you can see right here, she's never had permanent color on her hair, so that's her pregnancy hormones from when she was pregnant. Little cray-cray science. You can see all of my foils are touching the hairline, so that way around her hairline is super bright. Don't be afraid to, when you're going around the sides, to kind of angle your foils a little bit differently. As long as they're always touching the hairline, you'll get really good dimension. And don't forget about those little postpartum hairs. They're kind of a pain to foil, but they're so great, especially if she wants to put her hair up or style it in a certain way. She'll have those bright little pieces around her face. When I'm foiling around the hairline, I love to think about the money piece being the entire hairline. So that way when they pull their hair up, they have all that blonde around their face and they don't get those racing stripes from just the money piece. So foiling super close together is vital around the hairline. So that way you get that long, beautiful money piece. And then now we're starting the Mohawk. So I did both the sides very similar. The Mohawk, I take vertical sections and I go back to back. So there's no drop. So basically you take your section, you tease it, you weave it, you foil it. Back to get the brightest blonde possible. Especially when you're doing Teasylights, because the Teasylight helps with the seamless blend with the rooted effect, so that way you don't have to do a root tap. So taking back-to-back sections really helps get you that bright blonde without too much dimension, especially if your client wants to be as blonde as possible. And then when I do my Mohawk sections, I love to stand in the back and do my foils, and then kind of midway, I will start in the front. My go-to money piece sectioning is 2 slices, and as you'll see that I do on Lauren, is I'll take another slice, I'll tease it, and then I'll go straight into the weave. And there's thousands of ways to do a money piece, but this is my favorite way to do it, so that way that they get that bright blonde right in the front, but the seamless blend that just transitions straight into the rest of the Mohawk. And I love doing the Mohawk section and stopping midway and doing the money piece, just because the money piece is so fragile. I don't want to cause damage, but stopping midway, it gives enough time for the money piece to get super bright and beautiful, and I can pull the money piece before pulling those other sections in case it finishes early. But normally, since we're just using 10 vol on her, it lifts all perfectly and even. But I could talk about Teasylights day in and a day out. I love them. The technique is wonderful. You'll see at the end how seamless and beautiful the blend is, and we don't even have to root tap her. And that's another thing, is it saves time behind the chair. Then I just foil the rest of the whole Mohawk until I meet the other side. And I do this so that way I don't have any worries of the money piece not being bright enough. And now we're gonna do some tip outs. With tip outs, you don't really wanna overlap too much. It's more about picking up the really brassy, dark pieces, or just really old blonde that really needs that lift. And with tip outs, I always do 5 vol, really nice and slow. They don't need a whole lot, especially if you are overlapping. But blonde hair is like a white t-shirt. It's never gonna stay super white blonde. And this is something to do while your foils are processing, so that way when you get to the bowl, you don't have to do a bleach wash or anything that's gonna add extra time. This is gonna be great for adding that pop that they need. All right, let's pull these foils. Basically, when I pull my foils, I just pull down the liner just a little bit, just to refresh any of that old blonde, really make sure that root is blended. Because again, with the Teasylights, you don't have to root tap if the teases do what the teases are supposed to do. Really nice seamless blend. Her lift was beautiful, that perfect pale yellow. Now into toning. I'm toning with 10 VV with Redken shades. That's it. I love to keep my toners really simple. As you can see, the money piece is left out because those pieces are super porous. If I were to put that toner on right then, her money piece would turn violet. So we gotta leave those out, and then you'll see that I put them right back in, because the Redken 10 VV, I love their straight violet. It just tones beautifully, and it cancels out any of that warmth. It's perfect. That's why you really got to think about how the hair lifts, because you want your client to have longevity with their blonde, so that way it lasts when the toner does fade. You want them to have that bright, beautiful blonde. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Look how blonde her hair is. Healthy, beautiful, blended. Stunning. Look at that subtle money piece, but it's there. Look at those roots. They're not there anymore, because look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at the blend. When in doubt, tease it out, baby. Thank you for watching us do a partial highlight. Follow the hair standard and hair by Harlequin, and comment if you have any questions. Thanks, bye.